Great day. Great day. You are now tuning in to How You Holding Up, the podcast. And not only do I have a guest with me today, man, you guys see where we at. You see what we got. You see the aesthetics.
Yeah, boxing, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here with not only a grand champion, amateur, boxer, soon to be professional, God willing,
Absolutely, yeah.
a friend, a brother. I'm not gonna put no age on it, but he's a brother, man. Daniel, man, how you feeling? How you holding up?
I feel good right now. Again, it's the beauty of life, the good and the bad. As you go through life, as you go through all these types of experiences,
Mm.
you get to learn more about who you are as a person.
Mm.
And again, going back to how you introduced me, like as a boxer, that's
Mm.
something boxing has helped me a lot more, like learning more about who I am as a person.
Mm.
Especially like say for example, talking about a fight, how am I going to handle a situation if I'm under pressure?
Mm.
How am I going to keep myself composed,
Mhm.
calm, control my emotions?
Right.
So that's just something boxing has helped me a lot for sure, just finding my individuality. So I mean, yeah, life right now is good. No complaints. Again, I know it's a journey,
Mm.
so just with time everything's going to work out.
And you guys know I'm big on timing. You guys know I'm big on individuality. You know, you guys know that, or are becoming aware that I am big on fighting. And then you're the perfect gentleman to have this, to pose this question to, right? And we spoke briefly about it earlier. A lot of people want to know how to fight physically, as I mentioned to you, but with so much going on, people are struggling with their individuality, right? As a person, as a people. How has boxing helped train your mind? Because that's the first place that goes when we have a battle. It's the mind, right?
Absolutely.
So how have you not only learned how to use your fist, but also how to use your mind in the times and days that we live in now?
Yeah, so if I'm being honest, boxing is more of a mental game
Mm.
instead of a physical game. Like, yeah, you got to be in shape, you got to have all of the right technique, but if you lose that mental battle,
Mm.
especially before a fight,
Mm.
you got the nerves, all that stuff. You're not able to keep yourself composed, keep yourself calm, essentially keeping your emotions under control.
Mm.
If you're not able to do that, then you're not gonna. If we're talking about a fight, you're not gonna win.
Mm.
No matter how good you are, no matter how more how better you are technique wise compared to your opponent,
Mm.
if you're not able to keep yourself calm and composed and be confident and believe in yourself and your skills,
Mm.
if you can't do that, then you're not gonna be able to achieve the win or achieve anything in life.
Mm.
With boxing, all those little small details, those little life lessons, such as keeping myself composed. Let's say I'm in the corner,
Mm.
I got nowhere to go, and I got a person just throwing punches at me.
Mm.
I'm under pressure there, but being able to see the openings, keeping myself calm, and get out of that situation,
Mm.
something as small as that is able to translate towards my life.
Mm.
Let's say I got a bad situation coming up.
Mm.
Um,
Man.
just keeping myself, just analyzing that situation, not feel too overwhelmed. Don't get me wrong, I'm human. Sometimes I do feel overwhelmed with whatever I got going on.
Mm.
But just analyzing that, self reflecting, being able to keep my emotions in check, that helps me be able to make, I want to say, maybe not the right decision, but maybe make a more effective decision,
Mm.
or there's another word for that, a little bit more logical decision
Mm.
instead of going based off whatever I feel at that moment. So again, boxing has helped me. It's helped me find who I truly am,
Mm.
especially under pressure. So then now, if I go to my day to day life,
Mm.
I'm able to, be able to move around things a lot more effectively,
Mm.
a lot more logical, a lot more intellectually, instead of just being overwhelmed and just panicking and all that stuff. Because if you're just panicking, if you feel overwhelmed, you're not going to be making the right decisions,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe not the most effective decision at that specific moment.
Mm.
So yeah, that's just something. Boxing has definitely helped me a lot, for sure. And it's helped me grow as a person as well,
Mm.
not only with relationships, friends, family, um, but also with a relationship with myself,
Mm.
being more in tune with myself,
Yeah, that's big.
being more in tune with my thoughts.
Mm.
Just being able to be comfortable in my own thoughts. Again, it's not always sunshines and rainbows up here.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it may be a lot of, I guess you could say, negative stuff, but you just being able to move around or go past those, I guess you could say, negative thoughts, and then look more towards the positive thoughts and bring that and have more an abundance of that in your mind.
Mm.
And then from there, you're just able to, I guess you say, not feel overwhelmed with whatever's going on. Be more grateful with what you have, whatever's presented in front of you. Just deal with it. You'll figure it out. Believe in yourself that you'll figure it out.
Mm.
And then from there, it's just gonna it just comes with time. And again, I know I'm just 22 years old.
Mm.
I still got much of life to go through, but I do believe that, I guess you could say, for my age, I'm a little bit more, or I feel mature compared to other people my age that I've met.
Mm.
Again, people have told me that, so if people have told me that, then I guess I have to believe it. But at the end of the day, it's just who I am as a person.
Mm.
I just want to be able to make the right decisions for myself. Again, I have a goal, I have a dream that I'm trying to work towards. Coming with the boxing, um, life goals. So again, just every day, constantly trying to work towards that.
Mm.
Even if it's just a little improvement, that's still something instead of just being stagnant.
Right. Right.
So, and again, that's boxing has definitely amplified those traits within me. So now I'm a much more, or I feel like I'm a much more better person, better individual. That way, I'm able to give back to people who have supported me throughout my whole life, people that have been there, people who come to my fights, and people that who I truly care about. I'm able to give back to them, help them out, same way that they've helped me out whenever I needed them. So yeah, that's what that's what boxing has done for me as an individual.
Man, that was so much to unpack, guys, and then a lot of, as you were speaking and as I was listening more so, um, a lot of scriptures were popping to mind, right? When you spoke on being composed and being able to think logically,
Yeah.
right? The first scripture that popped up was it's popular these days. Be still and know that I am God, right? I will exalt you, right? Sometimes a lot of us move so impulsively to where we figure out, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, and then we're not thinking rational,
Yeah, rationally. Yep.
very rational, right?
Yeah.
And for that, it sometimes God tells us, like a lot of times He tells us, yo, just chill. I got you. Like, take in, absorb what it is that I put in front of you, so you can learn and so you can depend on me. Because a lot of us depend on ourselves, and nine times out of ten times out of ten, it doesn't go as planned,
Yeah,
right? Because
absolutely.
even God tells us that his plans are not our plans. So, yes, we can be ambitious, we can be proactive, but sometimes when we aren't in the right mind state, pardon me, sometimes when we aren't in the right mind state, we can get flustered and we can panic. And for that, the best decisions always aren't always made, right? You also spoke on being, I don't want to say fearful, but when you're in the ring and you're being attacked from every which way,
Yeah,
your opponent, the opposition is throwing punches from every angle, right? It's like it's like the enemy, our all enemy that we have in common. Satan, he throws these fiery darts, right? We all have these mental battles that we go against, right?
absolutely.
But a lot of us fear what intrusive thoughts he tries to put on us. And once we understand that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind, we can then understand that we too are boxers, right? And God's the ultimate referee. You
Yeah,
feel me? Because
yeah, yeah, yeah,
he going to step in. We might even jump him if necessary.
yeah.
Whoever that opponent is, you feel me? But ultimately, man, boxing has done a lot for you, man. I remember before you even decided to go on this journey, man, you were just so, I don't even know what to call it, man. You were always a humble guy, man, and I know a lot of people who, a lot of the majority of people who took on the self defense of boxing has always said that it allows a person to be poised, controlled. I think you've always been that.
Absolutely.
So when you say boxing helped amplify who you are as a person, I can stand true by that statement that you made, that observation, and I definitely can attest to that, man. Um,
Appreciate it. Yeah.
man, you guys see, I got my gloves. Daniel has his mitts. We just put in some work, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of belt to ass out here. You feel me? And speaking of, man, Daniel, you just had the victory over your last fight. Tell me about that. Tell me a little bit about that because I also want to inform people that you are a personal trainer, right? You're a
Yeah.
boxer, and you're just a man amongst boys out here, right? Someone once told me that we are to be dangerous for good. And you, my friend, are definitely dangerous for good. You feel me? So if you are interested in being personally trained by Daniel here, either in the gym or out here in Nature's Valley with one-on-one training, definitely I'm going to put his contact to where you guys can reach him, inbox him, DM him, and definitely get your training on, man. This is a good brother right here.
Absolutely.
Support his goals, his dreams, because in turn he's going to do the same exact thing. We're out here to please God and serve others, and this brother has definitely served me today, and I am definitely serving him. So today we can't go that much further without community, man. So please do tell me about that last fight that you had, man, and you also have one coming up. So give
Yeah.
us the date for that too.
Yeah. So I have another fight coming up December 7th.
Okay,
So the day of right now is 3 weeks from now.
nice.
I just picked up that fight about 3 days ago.
He's in demand.
Yeah. So going back to my last fight, um, coming off from my first fight, which I won.
That was by KO or was
That
that
was
this?
like knockout. Yeah. First fight I won by knockout. This second fight I won by split decision.
Mm.
So coming off from my first fight, that just gave me some more confidence in myself. Help me believe a lot more in my skills.
Mm.
So preparing for this second fight, it was a little bit more of, again, a mental battle. The main thing was trying not to be too overconfident or not underestimate the the opponent.
Mm.
Again, I came off a knockout. I felt like I was the
Yes,
man for
sir.
sure. I felt like I
Yes,
was the
sir.
man. But again, just learning how to stay humble.
Mm.
Again, yes, it's good to have confidence in yourself, but being able to know that there's always someone better than you, and to just let that go. Yeah, you won, let it go, and continue training, continue practicing as if you never won.
Mhm.
That was the main thing that I learned through this fight. Because if I'm being honest, this second fight was a lot tougher than my first one. To be honest, I
When you say
thought
tougher,
so. It was a tougher fight. The fight itself was a lot tougher, just because I lost that battle of keeping myself humble and not being too overconfident
Mhm.
and underestimating my opponent. I lost that battle. I'm gonna admit to it. I lost that battle when it comes to my second fight. So that just made the fight a whole lot closer than it should have been.
Mhm.
Again, I know what I could do as a fighter, as a boxer. I know my skills. I wasn't able to truly show my skills in that second fight. Yes, I won. Yeah, I'm happy that I won,
Mhm.
but I'm not happy with the way that I won. I personally don't feel like I showed I showed the people what I could truly do as a boxer. So that's the main thing that I learned from the second fight. Just being able to keep your head down, keep training as if I'm a fight the best fighter ever.
Mhm.
That's gonna keep you on track, and that's what's gonna keep you consistent and keep on working hard every single time I'm in that gym.
Nice,
And
nice.
yeah,
So for those of you guys who are wondering, no, the fight wasn't rigged. All right, that was a split decision, fair and square. A lot of people big on this
yeah.
Tyson and Jake Paul thing, man. But how'd you feel about that? How do you feel about the sport of boxing and just sports in general, but especially boxing, man? Where people, I get it, boxing is beautiful, man. It's brilliant. It's
Yeah,
one
it's an
of the,
art.
it's an
It's
art,
an art.
man.
Yeah.
And now everybody wants to take on that role of being a boxer, right? Because now they say if you're in the gym, you can just slap the label on and say I'm a boxer, right?
Yeah.
You do some mitt work, some pad work, you're a boxer, right? How do you feel about the sport of boxing in its current state?
So I personally feel that yes, a lot of people are not being introduced into boxing, which I love. I feel like everybody should be not necessarily boxing itself, but at least in some form of combat sport.
Right.
That way,
I agree.
it's more of a discipline. It could be jujitsu, wrestling, whatever it is. I just ended up choosing boxing. Um, so going back to what you said, a lot of people now put the label on that they're a boxer just because they're in the gym.
Mm.
Me personally, I wouldn't consider someone a boxer
Mm.
until they have had a fight.
Mm. Not a street fight.
Not a street fight,
Okay.
an actual sanctioned fight with
Mm.
rules, a referee, a crowd, not sparring.
Mm.
But sparring and a fight are two different things.
Okay.
If you haven't fought, then I don't see why you consider yourself or put that label on yourself that you're considered a boxer.
Mm.
So, and again, and if we go to the pros, I feel like most fights right now are, again, boxing is still a little bit corrupted for sure.
Mm.
Um, even even for my second fight, my previous
It
fight,
was corrupted.
it might have been maybe a little bit. I don't know. I personally feel like it was a little bit corrupted. Again, I was fighting at their home gym.
Mm.
Their His coach was the main promoter of that gym.
Mm.
So yeah, maybe there was a little bit bias into my opponent. But again, that's no excuse. I should have done what I had to do,
Mm.
which I didn't get done. Even though I won, but I didn't win the way I should have won. Again, so that's on me. But I'm not putting no excuse on that. Um, yeah, and going back to the professionals, there's definitely a little bit of corruption. Again, the ones that are most popular,
Mm.
everybody wants to see them win
Mm.
because then that's gonna drive in money into the business. But if we compare it to the UFC, everybody fights each other in the UFC,
Mm.
which you don't really see much of that anymore in boxing. Not everybody fights each other.
Mm.
Everybody chooses they choose their fight.
Mm.
They're a little bit more strategic, but I'm sure any boxing fan wants to see those big fights. And when those big fights happen,
Mm.
that's what everybody talks about.
So I want to intervene right there because I think that's a good point for me to ask this question. So, short response. Why'd you decide to start boxing? Because I have follow up questions. Why'd you decide to select boxing as a sport that you uh, engaged in?
To challenge myself.
Now, does boxing and the form of the sport and the science of it challenging you, does that bring you joy or happiness? Are you joyful as you box or are you happy while you box?
What's the difference between joyful and happy?
Great question. So it's like motivation and discipline.
Uh-huh.
You know the difference between motivation and discipline?
Absolutely.
What is it?
So when you're motivated, you have that urge to get something done. But when you're disciplined, you still get things done when even you don't have that urge, or maybe you don't feel like you want to get something done, but you still have to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Happiness is motivation, joy is discipline. You
Gotcha.
might not always be motivated, but
Absolutely
as
not.
long as you have that discipline, you're
Yeah.
going to you're still going to be joyful, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm not always happy, but I'm always joyful because I'm grateful. I mean, look where we are. We're sitting under a
Yeah.
tree.
It's
The
beautiful.
wind is blowing.
Yeah.
It's a cool breeze. We by the ocean, by the water. We're able to see. We're able to communicate individually from devices where we can walk right on our own 2 feet. We can breathe in hell without an oxygen mask or machine. It's things of that nature that allows me personally to be joyful. I have color vision. I can see the green grass. I can see the sun shining, the
Absolutely.
clouds. It's things like that that allows me to be joyful, right? Now, joy and happiness, which does boxing do for you?
It brings me joy because again, I don't want to train every single day. It sucks. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
dude.
Fucking training every single day, twice a day.
Mm,
Don't get me wrong. It's tiring.
yeah.
I'm not always going to the gym happy or excited to train,
Mm,
but I know I still have to get it done
mm,
because I have a fight coming up.
mm.
It's an individual sport, so effort you put in, however much effort you put in is what you're gonna get out. Is what you're gonna put out. So I know I got a fight coming up. I want to make sure I'm well prepared for that fight. That way, at the end of the day, I have a chance of winning. At least have a chance. But I'm always with the mindset of I'm gonna work as hard as I can, whether I want to or not. I'm always gonna work as hard as I can to end up winning that fight.
Stay right there. Boxing is so synonymous to life. If you are a competitor in the sport of mixed martial arts, boxing, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, karate, kung fu, Krav Maga, wrestling, whatever it is, you have to be disciplined in order to outsmart and outcompete your opponent. Just like life, you have to be disciplined to train your mind because that's the first thing that's necessary in order for you to step in that ring or that octagon or that cage, wherever it is on that battlefield. You have to, for me, it's the word. I have to get my mind right because I understand and I understood that when I was out here in this big boxing ring of life, right? I understood that I wasn't training. So it was thoughts that the enemy was throwing in my mind where I wasn't composed. I wasn't disciplined. I wasn't relaxed. I was tense and I was trying to just figure it out. And I'm not maneuvering right. Very irrational, very impulsive. And I was losing battles. I lost a lot of battles. A lot of battles.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I came a long way. And you've come a long way. And we got a long way to go, man. So whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's emotional, whether it's spiritual, make sure you have the discipline to fight and to not only fight, but to win the fight. Because the enemy, he can he can slip and counter just like we can slip and counter. But a great defense makes for a great what?
Offense. Absolutely.
Staying on business. Staying on business. So again, Daniel, it was a pleasure. It was an honor, brother,
Thank you. I
speaking
appreciate
with
it.
you. Again, I want you to throw out your social media handle. Also, throw out the information where people can purchase tickets for your fight if they can purchase it on the website or if they have to show up at the door to support him. Great brother, like I said, man. And also just leave. We'll attack one thing at a time, but
Yeah.
start with your handle first, and then where they can support you for the fight.
Yeah. So my Instagram is Daniel.Calvo, CALVO 02. That's my IG. And whenever I get the fight announced, that's where I'm gonna post it on my story. That way you guys could get tickets there and help and come support my fight. Um, the promotion that I'm fighting in is called Spar Wars. Spar Wars Entertainment. You can find that on IG as well. Um, yeah. So that whenever I get the official information, all the information that I need, then that's when I'll post it on my Instagram, and then you guys could buy tickets there.
You guys heard what he said. Please do follow him. Daniel.Calvo, CALVO
Yep.
02 on Instagram. Check out the highlights. Check out his footage, man. He's 2-0 right now to date, undefeated. December 7th, he's going to continue that streak, God willing. If not, I'm hopping in the ring with you and we're going to make it do what it do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if y'all buy tickets and come out and support, y'all could jump in the ring with us too. And you know what I mean? We're going to make it official for real. Um, man, if there's one thing, if there's one bit of information you can leave to someone who is aspiring to become a boxer or just even get in the art of just training, right? What's one piece of sound advice you would leave to them that resonates in the ring just as much as it does outside the ring?
So again, when it comes to any form of combat sport, we'll use boxing for example. It's a way of, you could look at it as meditation. A lot of people tend to take yoga. That's like their form of meditation, which again is cool. I take yoga myself.
I
That
need to take yoga.
Yeah, it helps me a lot mentally as well, along physically. But boxing is more of my main meditation. It helps me figure out who I am as a person, how I react to certain situations. Let's say I make a mistake. Again, I'm always making mistakes, especially in life and especially in boxing. I'm not perfect. I'm always making mistakes, but once you learn from those lessons, you learn from those mistakes, then that's how you truly grow as a person. And then when it comes into boxing, that's how you get better and become a better fighter. So again, boxing not only going to become a beast physically, but it's definitely going to make you more of a mentally strong person, which is going to help translate to your day-to-day life.
You can't make this up. Protect your mind, and your mind will protect you at all costs. It's your boy Brooklyn Boon. How you holding up? Came a long way. Newest single, latest single, streaming on all music platforms. Do look out for the full episode and more episodes and all additional news and updates. Until next time, make sure you ask your loved ones how you holding up. We out. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.